Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome to this brand new Game Maker tutorial. Today we are doing some more stuff in our tower defense game, and we're gonna jump right in. First things first, our main objective for today is to make it so we can place towers. So we can click and those towers will be placed. So how do we do that? Well, that's a great question. First, what we're gonna do is we're going to create a new object, and I'm going to call this obj underscore control. And this is going to be the control object we're going to probably end up using it for a few things, but for right now, its only job is to worry about the tower. I'm going to add an event, add a create event, and we're going to go to control, drag in some code, and this code is basically going to have one variable, and it's just going to say global var blocked is equal to false. So what does this variable do? Why are we making it? Well, you can see that on our level, if I open this up here, we have this pathway, and we don't want you to be able to place towers on that pathway. You can only place towers in this outside grass area. So what do we do to avoid that? Well, we add the blocked variable, and basically that's only going to allow us to place a tower if we are not hovering over dirt or another tower. As long as we're hovering over nothing, we're hovering over the grass, then we're good to go. But otherwise we want to make it so that you can't place it on dirt. So let's hit check. Let's go to obj dirt, and you can see I didn't loud noises, give me a sec. That's a sneak peek of what we're about to do here. Let's add an event. We're going to add a mouse enter event. Let's go to control, drag in some code, and we're just going to say blocked is equal to true. And then we're going to add a mouse leave event. And what do you think we're going to say? We're going to say blocked is equal to false. So on the mouse enter, when we hover over the dirt, hey, blocked is true. We cannot place a tower right now. But when we leave, when we're no longer touching the dirt, blocked will be equal to false. Perfect. Looking pretty good so far. So let's go to our obj tower, and we're going to, that's really big, isn't it? We're going to add a create event, which we already have, luckily. We're going to go into actions, and what we have here, which isn't actually on your screen yet, we have here is two lines. We have radius is equal to 100 and cooldown is equal to 25. Perfect, those are fine, leave those. We just need to add one more variable, and we need to say placing is equal to false. Perfect, exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to go back to that later, but this is basically going to see if the tower is being placed or if it's on the ground. So let's hit check. Let's go back to obj control, and I'm going to add a key press spacebar. Now you might wonder why I'm doing this, and because at the moment we don't have multiple towers and we don't have a GUI system to place those multiple towers, I'm just going to make it so if you hit space, that's going to allow you to go and place a tower somewhere. Later on in probably 2 tutorials, or maybe the next one, we're going to be adding a new type of tower, and then we're going to also on top of that build a cool little system that players can use to switch between what tower they're placing. So in the press space, I'm going to drag in some code, and I'm going to have 2 lines here. The first line is new tower is equal to instance underscore create mouse underscore x mouse underscore y obj underscore tower. So what this is going to do is this is going to create a new tower, and that's going to name that tower new tower, and then below it we're going to say new tower dot placing is equal to true. So this is a cool thing you can do in Game Maker where you can put the name of an object, and if you put a dot, you can access any of its variables. So new tower dot placing is equal to true. That's going to change the placing variable that we just made. It's going to change this one, which is what we're looking for. So obj control, yeah, so we're creating a new tower, calling it new tower, and then we're going to set placing to true. Now that means that the tower is getting placed. So if we pop all the way back into our obj tower, we go to the step event, we're going to add one little code block all the way down here. I'm going to say if placing is equal to true, so if we are placing it, x equals mouse underscore x, y equals mouse underscore y. So if we are placing it, that means we want the tower's x and y position to be wherever the mouse is, because the player has to decide where they want to place it. This might make more sense in a second once you see the game, but for now, yeah, it's basically going to make sure that if we are placing it, the tower is going to stay on our mouse. And we have to add one more thing. All the way up here, we have to say, actually, we'll do it all the way at the top. We have to say if placing is equal to false. So if we aren't placing, then you can do all that stuff. But otherwise, if we are placing it, we don't want the players to be able to just move towers around, and the towers, will just keep shooting. It's a little unfair that way. So if placing is equal to false, we're going to do this. But if it's equal to true, then that's what's going to happen. So let's hit check, and let's add a draw event. Add draw. And in the draw event, we're going to make it so that it draws a green circle around the tower that kind of shows its radius. So you can get an idea that wherever you place it, how far reach it's going to have. So you'll understand what that means exactly in a second. But if we go to control, drag in some code up here, I'm just going to say, first things first, I'm going to say draw underscore self. What that's going to do is that's going to make sure that it draws this tower sprite right there. If you do the code I'm about to give you and you don't put this, there will be some times where it's not going to draw the square, it's just going to draw the new circle we've made. Don't worry about it, just keep that in there. I do have a video on my old channel explaining it, but we're not going to worry too much about it. All it does is make sure that it draws our own sprite. So next I'm going to say if placing is equal to true, so if we are placing, then first we're going to say draw underscore circle underscore color. I'm going to go through and change the alpha in a second. I was just debating if I'll do that first or not. So draw underscore circle underscore color, and this takes, I believe it's 5 arguments. It needs an x and a y, which is just x and y for us, x, y, and then we're going to put radius because we have to put in the radius, and then we need 2 colors. So I'm going to put C underscore green, and then false. So we're going to be drawing a new circle at our x and y. The radius is radius, and it's going to be the color green, and we're just going to keep it the color green, and it's a filled circle, not an outline. So perfect, that's what we're looking for. But what I'm going to do right now, which I was debating on doing earlier, I'm going to put draw underscore set alpha to 0.3, and then below it I'm going to put draw underscore set alpha to 1. So what this is going to do is this is going to set the alpha of our circle to 0.3. I just found it looked a bit nicer that way. You don't have to make it that way, but I just found it looked a bit nicer. And then we're just resetting the alpha so that everything else draws with the regular transparency it has. So remember in the draw event, if you ever do set something, draw underscore set alpha, or anything where you're setting, you're changing a setting, always make sure that you reset it because you don't know what else will be affected by it. So let's hit check. Let's hit check and let's go to our room level 1 and let's add a new control object, and I'm gonna hit play and let's see how this works. How you guys doing today? Doing good? Good. I think I'm getting sick, which sucks because, it sucks for videos. So here we go. We have our game. I'm going to hit space, and you can see we got a new tower, and we can see the radius. We can see how far it can shoot. And if we place it like right there. Oh, yes, of course. We completely forgot about that. Hit X. Let's go to OBJ tower. Let's add a mouse left pressed event. I'm going to hit control. I'm going to drag in some code. And I'm going to say if placing is equal to true and blocked is equal to false. So if we are trying to place it and we are not hovering over any dirt, then placing is equal to false. So of course if placing becomes false, that means that it's no longer going to follow the X and Y, and that means it can start shooting. So let's hit play again and let's see if this code works, because hopefully it does. And drag it over. And I'm going to hit space, we can see our tower, and then I can place it there, and as you can see, he starts shooting at the closest enemy to him, which is perfect. They're just getting wrecked. That's exactly what we're looking for. We can now place our towers and see the radius. Now, of course, let's add one more thing here. We can place as many towers as we want. It's not actually affecting our money or anything like that. So, what are we going to do? Let's go into the create event, and we're just going to put tower cost is equal to, and then you have to put however much you think your tower should cost to place down. I'm just going to put 10 for now. That might change and fluctuate based on, how many more towers we add, how much gold the player is going to get per enemy it kills, stuff like that. But for now, I'm just going to keep it at 10. And I'm going to hit check, and let's go into the left pressed, and we're going to go down here, and I'm just going to say money minus equals tower cost. Now I do think it's called money. If we go to our OBJ stats, yeah, money is, yeah, perfect. So I'm going to hit check, and that's exactly what we're looking for right there. So let's run it one more time and make sure this works just perfectly. Here we go, booting up. Coco, here we go. And here we go, and I have no money, of course. Let's just wait a sec to gain some money. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And we can place the tower. Now our money's back to 0. Perfect. We can place towers. We can see the radius of the towers. And that is a pretty good start for today. So I'm going to leave it off here. In the next one, we're going to be adding a new enemy, a new level, and we might do a new tower. I don't know yet. We'll see how much time we have. And if we don't do new tower next time, we for sure will the time after that. And then we have I've got a few things we got to throw into, a few little chores. But anyways, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. It's been a pleasure getting to talk to you. I hope you're enjoying where this series is going. If you have any suggestions, anything you want to see in the game, please let me know down below. If you need help, please let me know. And if you just want to talk, please let me know. Cool. I'll talk to all of you guys later. Happy deving.